Well, one of these years when I'm kicking back and remembering to tell my buddies the night I was inducted into the Michigan Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, I'll tell them it was at the Grand Hotel. John Dingell and Carl Levin were honored, and the great Frank Kelly was in the house. Yeah. And they will know it was a heck of a night. And it was also a few days before Jim Brandstetter kicked off his career as play-by-play announcer for Michigan, and he's already going to be in the Hall of Fame before the kickoff on Saturday. Let me congratulate everybody who's been honored here tonight, and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters, and there are over 370 members. This is a very significant anniversary, obviously, the 65th. And I would like to thank everybody in the MAB on behalf of anyone and everyone who ever had a dream to make a career for himself or herself behind the microphone. Without all of you, none of us would have ever had the chance to do what we love to do for a living. So thank you, thank you, thank you. My wife Mary and I just celebrated another happy anniversary, and we thank you for inviting us to celebrate some more here at the Grand Hotel. So thank you for that as well. And we've had a wonderful run with Michigan State Spartan football and with the Detroit Pistons of the NBA. But the Spartans and the Pistons were only a dream when I started, believe me. Is there anybody here from WMIC in Sandusky? How about that? All right, we got to talk. They deserve my first thank you, because 45 years ago this past winter in 1969, that doesn't seem that long ago, they allowed a raw rookie to broadcast a basketball game in Deckerville on a Friday night and into a tape recorder, and they played it back the next morning as part of their Saturday morning programming. But I then had an audition tape. You know, you can't get a job without an audition tape. And how do you get an audition tape unless you have a job? So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd been to Notre Dame and I'd been to Michigan, as you heard, to get degrees, but I wanted to be a play-by-play broadcaster. And that's where Ernie Harwell and the great Van Patrick came in. I wrote Ernie, one of the all-time great broadcasters and one of the all-time great gentlemen, told him about my dream, and he recommended a very short course at the Institute of Broadcast Arts, and Van Patrick was a mentor there for me. And he taught me everything, including how to make the spot boards to broadcast football, which I just finished this afternoon. Same stuff that the late, great Van Patrick taught me how to do. Got those finished this afternoon for our game this Friday night. But I still needed a job. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how to do it, and I even had an audition tape. Well, I got a job at WABJ in Adrian, doing games, doing news, and doing everything else they would allow me to do, including cover the county commission until all hours of the morning, where the debate was whether or not Mrs. Murphy's cows could cross County Road such and such between this hour and the next hour. But people always told me, do everything they'll let you do. So there I was. Then it was on to Lansing, where Harold Gross of Gross Telecasting gave me my first big break. He allowed me to do Michigan State football on WJIM. Then Frank Beckman, Brandy's longtime partner, gave me my other biggest break when he hired me in 1976 to broadcast the Detroit Pistons on WJR. I work for the Pistons now, for Fox Sports, and for the Spartan Network, owned by Hall of Famers Will Tiemann and Wendy Hart. And I still love it, but I often wonder where I'd be without WMIC in Sandusky. Thanks to you and thanks to everybody. I appreciate the honor.